Dan!
Hello.
Hi, Dan. Welcome back to the Old Doctor Who show. It feels like it's been a while since we interviewed our friend Conrad 2 weeks ago or whatever it was. I don't remember. I'm not a calendar expert. Dan, how are you?
I'm doing okay. Time is a flat circle. Eric, what are we doing here today?
We have a very exciting show. We are going to be watching...
Mini show.
We're going to be watching something called Tales of the TARDIS, which for a lot of people is probably... Oh, yeah, of course. That we all watch that. It was new to me. I had no idea this was a thing.
It was UK only, so it's not really our fault.
Yes.
They didn't officially release it in the US.
And a listener had sent it to us, I don't know, a month or so ago, because we had reviewed, or we had sort of did a reaction watch to Leela versus the Time War. And they enjoyed it, so they were like, hey, you should do Tales of the TARDIS. And I was like, what?
We had no idea. There's more?
What is it?
Okay.
So to my knowledge, these were short videos made to celebrate classic stories that probably were being re-released or whatever, and they feature doctors and companions now portraying their characters then. So it's in canon story, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So I'm excited. I know like some of them are written by Russell T Davies. I don't know if they all are, or it's going to be fun.
I mean, it's just exciting to see these actors back again in these roles. But I think was also, again, we didn't get to see any of this. So just from my reading, it sounds like these were kind of bookends, and then maybe they did a little bit of re-edits of the stories that they're around, so like Earthshock and so on. Which we should just sit through and watch
just
Earthshock
watching
again.
Poor
That'd be
Adric.
great. Poor Adric die. But
Adric killing the dinosaurs.
So this is really fun. We're just gonna watch in real time these new pieces, and I guess just comment as we go.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And I will say this: we're going to start it right now. We're going to go right into it. Watch it live, both of us for the first time. If you are interested in Dune 2 Part 2 spoilers, casting spoilers, please stick around for the end of the broadcast, because I'm going to talk to you, Dan, about a reveal, a very last-minute actor reveal.
They replaced Timothy Chalamet with Gerard Depardieu.
Imagine that. That might be interesting. Little Depardieu.
I think Gerard Depardieu could really pull it off.
The Depardieu has awakened, but he's actually just Leto II, and he's
Depardieu.
Full worm. No, let's go to the play button.
Okay, hit that play button.
Hit the play button now. Okay, we go right into the TARDIS. This is very exciting. I like the music.
Look how cluttered everything
I like
is. Just like
it looks like my dad's basement.
We could watch this like 100 times and see different things each time.
And again, Joe Biden.
Shouting over this.
Joe Biden has come to stop malarkey.
A young Joe Biden?
Yeah, right.
This is kind of. Is the celery wilted? That's fresh celery. That's some fresh celery.
It's almost too cramped, right? It feels like.
Yeah.
It's like literally like this is your TARDIS now, and he's just at a Home Depot, stuck in one of those little tool sheds.
He became a hoarder in his old age.
There's everything else. I can't remember.
Oh, look at that screen.
Pineapple.
There was a Fez in the background over there.
Remember?
I was fast asleep.
What?
In bed.
I'll know that haircut anywhere.
I know that page boy. Aww.
Oh, how sweet.
Is he gonna pretend to like her?
Is he gonna start
now?
yelling at her? Just Tegan! Yes, you never did. Exactly. We never really did this sort of thing.
We do now.
Oh.
Oh. You got old.
Oh.
You didn't. Not one line.
Don't get
Here comes the Concorde is gonna come crashing through the wall here.
That's enough.
They're so cute together. Oh.
I mean, how?
I mean, look at all this stuff on the floor.
What kind of gimcrack TARDIS is this? Don't tell me.
I like
you
that.
had an accident.
It's like that Black Orchid.
Believe it or not.
Oh yeah.
I woke up in here myself. I think it's a memory.
Oh, they were stuck in memories.
TARDIS.
I don't remember it being such a mess.
No, but
because we as viewers are looking back at our own memories, and they're stuck in the nostalgia loop.
Is the memory of a time.
I get it.
And it's reached out and remembered
So he's maybe like remembering his past and future and everything.
Can you remember Adric before he comes exploding into a flame?
I remember the smell,
No.
but I don't remember.
I think this thing needs feeding.
Oh, great. I knew we'd be in trouble. Don't tell me. It's going to eat our brains.
No, well, not literally, but this is a remembered TARDIS. And memories thrive on
Stories, stories, stories. It's very Russell T Davies.
That's
Yeah.
what it wants. Stories. Being
By a
told
child.
around a fire. Like every story told across.
Oh no, someone's gonna drop the snow globe that they're in. Oh, look at those little chairs.
Aw.
What
Those
sort
are
of
comfy.
stories?
Oh, little fire. That's
Oh,
cute.
okay. So now they have to retell the stories
We've
that
got
then
the
you
best
watch.
Stories ever.
See, now we're getting
Okay,
this
I
set up.
get
This
it.
makes
Do you
sense.
mean we sit and tell stories about ourselves?
I think so.
I mean, that's what's on the page.
That's not so mad.
I've already, because we
cute.
talked over the whole thing.
I do
Is
that
this
every
just
day.
in the doctor's
All the things we did.
mind,
Doctor.
imagination, memory?
No, I think
She's
Tegan's
also
actually there.
pulled into this
I
thing,
think
so
nothing
she's
else.
complete,
I think
has
so.
complete agency. And is it the Black
As
Guardian?
much as she ever had.
Is the Black Guardian controlling?
She's
It's Mrs. Flood.
Maybe we should.
Because if you carry the
never
two,
end- yes.
I'm sorry, Tegan, but if
Mrs.
we're
Flood
going
is the
to
Black
tell
Guardian.
Story, maybe it should be the strongest of all. The day we met the Cybermen.
Hmm.
you can.
I can't.
I think she can.
Okay. I'll do it for
For
you.
who?
For him.
Braveheart.
Who?
Gotta be Adric, right?
I don't know who you're talking about.
I wonder
Instantly forgot him.
where to
Aw.
begin.
Well, it began with
He's the math
Adric,
whiz.
Because he was traveling in the TARDIS before I ever met you. He stowed
Little
away
math
from a
star.
different planet. And
Little-
then
He's a math
Little
lead.
potato
he
sack.
told you that he
I
wanted
want to
to
go home and do more math competitions.
No, but before that, it's hard to tell where a story begins, isn't it? But before we came blundering in, it began on Earth. Think back.
I'm
Tegan.
trying to think back and remember that episode
Started
too.
with those
All I
mysterious
remember is the
deaths
spaceship shaking and
the
Adric
caves?
dying.
in the caves.
The caves.
Was it the case of Adric?
But that's his last one, right? There's little. This is Earthshock,
There it
right? With
is.
the little
Yeah,
Adric
yeah.
broken star. Okay, so we've watched the. Right, this is the end
Aw, I guess so.
of the
Yeah.
episode.
And here it is. Remember,
Mathlete.
he was
Doughy.
Oh, he was a nightmare.
daft and silly and sulky.
Little emo kid.
and hungry. And hungry.
he was just a
Just a
child.
kid.
He loved you.
Yes, I realize that now.
Looking back, I think, wow, we never
Yeah.
stopped running. He died, we sailed on, we had more adventures,
We never talked about him.
He never mattered that much. He just kept going.
We just kept going.
Yeah.
That's because of me. I
Truth,
never
truth.
look back.
Truth.
Well, maybe that's what a memory TARDIS is for.
Therapy.
About time.
This
Oh, I
episode
get
is
it.
brought to you by Better Health. If you can use the TODWS
The offer
coupon offer
code.
code,
And telling the story
Adric.
keeps him alive.
Adric forever. Oh,
Now,
yeah.
tell me stories about you. About life, about everyday things.
Little tiny boring human things, you mean?
They are the jewels. In this vault of memories, an ordinary life is...
Celery
Well,
stalk.
then I got something for you.
Okay. I left
No.
Not really.
baby.
Wait, I know we watched it.
found myself on the bank of the Thames with a load of dead Daleks. Long story. But in the end, I got myself back.
Prison?
I thought, yeah, I almost heard prison as well.
I think I was in shock. I thought, what can I do with my life? What can I do that would make
Be an
me
airline
Gotta get to
hostess.
that airport.
So I started campaigning for the
Good
environment.
for you.
And I used every trick you taught me. To never give up, to never be defeated, to keep fighting even in the darkest of times. And, oh,
Mm.
there were some times I
Has he
thought,
stopped listening? He's
not
listening.
listening anymore.
proud of me.
He said
Like,
this was a
What is this?
mistake.
What is this malarkey? I enjoyed it. It was heartwarming, touching. I understand the stop sharing that. The general conceit of the structure, and I imagine we're gonna watch 6 more. Not all with
5
Peter
more.
Davison, right? Or 5 more. Not all Peter Davison, right?
Not
I know
even all
Colin
with
Baker.
doctors.
Oh, so sometimes it's like companions.
Yeah.
Who do they do?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess don't tell me.
Well, we're
Don't
gonna
tell me.
find out. I mean, I can only tell based on the previous. But yeah, anyway, yes. So that was really fun.
And they're all in the same memory TARDIS, right?
memory TARDIS.
So,
I mean, it's a
okay.
good.
Yeah.
It is definitely a good
Telling
framing
the
device to do,
stories
like,
of the
whole
show. It
story.
was good. I like to
Yeah.
see Tegan. It's nice to for them to have a moment where he's not being awful to her, right?
For once.
For once.
I mean, if this had gone any longer, like in 30 seconds or so, he's gonna tell her to shut up. But it was okay.
It was good. I liked it.
Small doses. And honestly, as much as everyone makes fun of Adric, we make fun of Adric a lot. Like it would have been nice, just, anyway. Yeah, to have him
Yeah.
some alternate reality.
Now,
version
couldn't you
of
have
him
it?
that
Now,
was like-
Adric. Why isn't Adric in the show?
that's what I'm saying. I
Right.
mean, the character's dead, but that has never
There
stopped
could be
them before.
alternate
So
realities,
many.
or they could
Hey,
use
this
some
is
kind
this
of.
is your assignment for your writing sample.
Yeah,
It's
I
going
got
to
an
be
Adric
the
story. I got an
original
Adric story in me, Dan. No, but speaking
sure
of
you
stories,
do.
that's it. We'll jump into the next one. I don't have anything
Very
else to
good.
say about this, but I do have
Love it.
stuff to say about Dune
Which is why
Part
everyone's
2.
really here.
That's my
Yes.
secret.
It's coming so soon.
It's coming very soon.
Like less than 2 weeks.
Now, if you don't want any spoilers for Dune, like if you have read Dune,
yeah, I don't.
if
either.
you've read Dune,
Yes.
then stay on, because I'm not saying anything that's not in the book Dune, or the 1984 David Lynch film Dune, or the 2000 sci-fi miniseries Dune.
I did start watching Jodorowsky's Dune. Is that how you
Yeah, the
pronounce it?
documentary.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm only like a quarter of the way into it, but like, oh my god, that he just wanted it to be basically an LSD
It
trip
was
without the drugs.
insane. I love him.
Amazing.
Like, I had seen Holy Mountain
Right.
like a month ago or so in the theater. Amazing. Like, just
Still
mind blowing, like whatever. And
mind-blowing,
also
yeah.
Santa Sangre, later movie of his. I'm probably saying the name wrong. I saw it once.
Mhm.
It was much more straightforward than I thought, but also being like using dream logic and like
Dream
really
logic
cool,
and stuff. Yeah.
visually entertaining. We're not here to talk about that though.
No, we're not. We're talking about
Yeah,
Dune,
we're talking
though,
about
of
Dune,
course.
but you
Okay.
yes, his Dune was not Dune.
No, it
Like,
was,
by
so
any-
it should be a Dune that exists in the world. But okay,
Yes. But this
But-
Dune.
but tell us about this one.
Dune.
The-
So
Denis Villeneuve.
we've all been waiting. Every trailer, seeing like
Mhm.
who is Aaliyah? Where is Aaliyah of the Knife? Where is now in the story? Paul has a sister, right? Big,
Yes.
huge part of the
It does
Second
play
half
a
of
significant
Dune.
role. Yeah.
massive part of the sequel, Dune Messiah. It's
Mhm.
not a character you could easily cut. Has a very interesting backstory and a great character arc. That's I won't spoil it because not a lot of people have read Dune
I
Messiah.
don't think I've gotten far enough to know. Yeah,
But
Okay.
she is a child that is conceived at a time when they're first going to Arrakis, and the mother, Paul's mother, and Lady Jessica ingests the water of life, right? So she's going to go through
Yes.
this process of getting all the memories of the previous Reverend Mother, and it's going to come into her. But at the same time, she's already pregnant, so there's a baby in her womb, Dan, and the baby gets all of the previous.
So like
yes, so it becomes super
before
baby.
it's even born has
yes,
like
has
all
prescience,
the memories of
has can see through all of these timelines, or through these previous incarnations and everything. So she's born, she's a child, she's incredibly intelligent, knows all the stuff. They call her Abomination. She's a freak. Nobody wants to be around her.
Kind of scary.
Right? They haven't mentioned her. She hasn't been in any trailers. And 2 days ago, I think, Thursday or Friday, there was a big Dune premiere, right? So there's a premiere in Paris, I think. And they have all the cast, right? Zendaya's dressed like the woman from Metropolis, that robot. Timothy Chalamet's doing whatever Timothy Chalamet does. And then all of a sudden, are you aware of all this? So all of a sudden, they show the cast, and then Anya Taylor-Joy comes out. It's like, oh, they've never announced her. She's in this movie? She's dressed like almost like a Reverend Mother outfit. And there's no one left in the cast but Aaliyah. Like, you could be like, oh, I thought for a second, I was like, oh, Margot Fenring, who is another Bene Gesserit that was on in Arrakis before.
Oh, yeah.
No,
right.
That's already been cast by the actress whose name I'm blanking on, but she was in Blue is the Warmest Color and one of the James Bond movies.
Okay.
It's not her.
Okay.
So she has to be Aaliyah. But the age doesn't make any sense.
No, I'm looking at her Wikipedia now. She's 27. So unless they really de-age her.
Right. So it could go bad. It could be
to a toddler.
Yeah, it could be CGI de-aging.
Oh,
it could be,
it can't be
her voice coming through a younger actress to get the weird effect of being older. It could be someone on Twitter, when I was talking about this, said to me like they thought maybe it would be like a vision, like he's taking the water of life because Paul's going to go through that. He's going to have a vision of the future, and he's going to see future Aaliyah portrayed by her. Which would
so maybe the child actually isn't in,
or it's like another actress playing the child, but he sees a vision of his future.
Yeah.
Or Dune Part 2 is so long; it's longer than Part 1. Could it be that they are filming half or so of Dune Messiah, and it's going to be sort of all
putting together? So
right. So then she would be
instead of two books over 4 movies, maybe it's like one. It's
one and a half over 2,
and then
maybe if they did another one, it would be Children of Dune with whatever was left over from Dune Messiah.
As far as I know, they're only like not even guaranteeing, but they're only planning to do the first 2 books.
I was
surprised.
Yes.
I remember being surprised. Maybe it's changed.
I don't know either. I don't know either. I have a half of a memory that maybe they're doing Dune Messiah. But I don't.
I mean, it was never even sure until the first half.
If it makes money,
going to do a second.
Right. If it makes money, they would do another one.
Oh, they're going to do all the books if it makes money.
I'm pretty sure, though. I remember seeing Denis Villeneuve saying he would only do Dune Messiah, and like he was into doing Dune Messiah, which doesn't make a ton of sense if you've read Dune Messiah, because it ends as a super bummer. It's a very depressing ending. So I don't know. We'll see. But just the fact that she's in it, I have mixed feelings because she's way too old to be.
Just very curious. I mean, but I mean, he has not taken any missteps so far. So I kind of have a lot of trust in whatever he's going to do here.
I mean, I could certainly look at the first movie and say, well, I feel like I said this on our previous podcast. I like the movies. I enjoy the movies. They're a spectacle, but they feel like they're missing the weird strangeness that Lynch captured that are in the books. That there's like something about it that just doesn't feel weird in a good way.
But do you
weird
feel like
as a positive word I'm using?
Second half of the book is where things really go.
Yeah.
More and more away from the familiar. Like even just Paul, coming to Arrakis, like that was strange, but it isn't like weird. It's just like a new setting, and you have to deal with the politics. But then as he leaves and goes into the desert, that's when it starts becoming much stranger and more mystical. And the cult.
And it is. So, it's like an act. It's more of an action. It has to be accessible. They can't just make a movie for me.
Well,
because I would have been like, I would love to have seen that dinner party scene from the book that no one's adapted.
Oh yes.
Like, but nobody wants that. except for me, and like the
No, they don't.
smuggler
Just you.
character and all of that stuff would have been interesting.
But they did do some things that were not super accessible, like the visions of the possible future.
Yeah, that was great.
But they don't really explain it, which
Yeah,
is
that was
perfect.
good.
But it's like, and Paul doesn't actually even know what's going on there either. But he's like has these visions of someone.
The
So there is
jihad,
some of
which
that weirdness. I think it'll just get even weirder as we go.
yeah, it's cool. I like it. I mean, don't
great.
get me wrong.
I'm
but if
excited
there
about
was like, people, if there was a burning building, and I could only save one copy.
By milking this smooth little cat's body, you receive your antidote. It must be done each day.
I still, my heart will always belong to David Lynch's
Lynch.
Dune. That's just me.
That
It's
is just
fine.
you.
Like the third stage guild navigator. Like that just blew my mind, and that's kind of how it's portrayed in Dune Messiah, when they sort of have all that. Did you read Dune Messiah?
Yeah.
I think they have like fishbowl heads, right, in this
Yeah.
version. That's cool too. It just doesn't.
Yeah, but they were in full like tanks though in the book, right?
From what I remember from the new Dune,
Yeah.
you see them when they go through the ritual of handing over control of Arrakis to Duke Leto, and they're all dressed, and Paul is like, why do we have to do this? And like, whatever, it's part of the circumstance, whatever. And you see like a faction from the Reverend, from the Bene Gesserits, and then you see a faction of the Spacing Guild, and I think you see like almost like Mysterio Spider-Man villain, people in white robes and like glass helmets that are supposedly full of spikes.
Aren't they in like big tanks? Like
in the book, they're
full of
like
spikes?
the third stage guild navigator in Lynch's Dune.
Okay.
Even though in the first book, they never describe the
They
third
don't describe it at all.
stage guild navigator or whatever. And I don't even know third stage is a term. But you do in the second book. They do describe it, and I had always heard that David Lynch was supposed to do 3 movies, and had started to write the screenplay for Dune Messiah. So a lot of the stuff that comes in Dune that people complain about is actually stuff that is hinted at in Dune Messiah. This is a full Dune.
I love it though.
Podcast. We're going
Cool.
full Arrakis. No, but I'm excited. I'm looking forward
It's
to
gonna
it.
be great. All right,
That's
well,
it.
check us next time. We'll watch another
Dune.
one of these Tales of Tardis, and we'll talk about Dune again. It'll be great.
Well,
This is what
soon,
we're
Dan. It's
doing.
only a couple weeks.
6
so,
of
yeah.
these.
Okay.
Maybe we actually will be.
It could happen.
All right, cool.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
See ya.